Levis could have had 4 picks.
But at the same time, Levi and Pat P both played well though. They made the plays they were supposed to make. Levi had a couple big plays down the grass at the end of the game, man.
I agree with that. The Levi part. I mean, Pat P. It's just such a mixed bag from him, game in and game out. He was getting cooked.
It's
by that one guy.
a mixed bag because the expectations are as Pat P, the Hall of Famer. But if you look at him as, you're just another part of this defense as a role player right now, then you're not saying, man, you got cooked the whole game. You saying, bro, I saw you make a nice break on a deep out where you got a PBU, low key, almost had a pick on it. I'm looking at that and I'm saying, man, if that was Elijah Riley, we'd be over here like Elijah played well. We saw him make a play. But because it's Pat P, our expectation is, you need to be up here still. We're going to have to bring that thing down, man. We didn't see.
I guess so.
You gotta bring it down.
He's CB too.
And what do I keep saying on it's the outbreaking. Deep ins, deep out. That's where
little shifty receivers.
Right. That's where he's losing it a little bit. And
it was some no name looked like Wes Welker out there. That's
think about when he was going vertical, he was fine. As soon as he broke out, he's like, oh Lord, separation. That's part of it because the older you get your breaks, you can't stop as well.
You can almost hear that separation that receiver got on Pat P. Like you could, it almost like the Le'Veon Bell move on that Jaguar. Like you could hear Pat P saying that. Man.
Yeah, but that is a part of it, man. So for me, I look at Pat P and I'm like, you made the big tackle on 3rd down in the hole, 4th quarter. We needed that. You filled that gap because there's been times where I question, were you willing to do that? But you filled the gap. You made that tackle. That was big. You made that PBU. That was big. So, bro, I'm not tripping on, man. Was it Kyle Phillips? You made your plays. Cool. That ain't kill us.
All right. You're right. Maybe we just accept it. He'll get beat for maybe 40, 50 yards in a game.
Right. That's Pat right now, man. But Pat, the difference that I still do like is when you talk the mixed bag is his veteran savvy. That's why he still makes some of those almost exciting plays. You're like, wow, how'd you break on that? How'd you see that? Because he's still very smart in the sense that he knows a lot with this thing, right? But at the same time, we know his skills are diminishing. One of my big critiques of him is when I'm watching him versus JPJ. JPJ has always been a handsy, I'm going to press you, touch on you corner because he's a bigger body dude, but he wasn't necessarily elite athlete, right? In terms of athleticism. Pat P historically has been elite athleticism. So watch when Pat P plays in his mind, he still plays like the elite athlete of I don't have to touch you. I'm a out athlete you with my feet work. I'm gonna look pretty with you. Problem is now that he's diminishing in those skills, it's the separation that keeps showing. So you watch D Hop, it was in the end zone, literally. Pat P, he's trying to do the pretty. I'm gonna just run with you. And it's separation. I'm like, I watched JP do the same thing, but the difference was JP touches him, so now he's in phase with him. Just a different mentality. I think for Pat Pete, he's going to start adjusting to that and understand that, man, let me start slowing these dudes down a little bit. But that is a hard thing to go from I was elite and I could literally just line up in front of you, not touch you, and you couldn't run by me. Like, that was Pat Pete, bro. You couldn't run by him. You couldn't outcut him, break. It's like, bro, this dude is just locked down. That's why he's a future, Hall of Famer. It's Pat Pete. But at this stage, it's like, all right, now you got to start to adjust how you're coming out here. You got to adjust how you're using some of your techniques just to mitigate some of that loss and step, baby. But he knows that, and he'll make them adjustments, man.
We talk about JPJ.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Absolutely locked down in coverage, but my man needs to work on his tackling.
What do we say?
Holy.
What do we say, man?
I mean, it's bad. It's not like he doesn't want to, but it doesn't look like he knows how.
Like I said, bro.
Like, holy.
Young players, bro. Young players, bro.
Like, isn't that stuff they teach you in, like, Pee Wee football?
They used to, but think about it now.
His dad needs to get on him this week.
Think about it, all right? So tackling used to be a lot more prevalent. Honestly, though, it gets to the point where you don't tackle as much because all of the different rules, all the different emphasis on player safety and stuff like that. So they try to take a lot of that off of the dudes. So really, you don't practice tackling often. That's why Coach Tobin has them boys tackling so much at training camp. Because you get in the season and it's like, you will literally go. The only time you make a tackle is in the game. Everything else is just get in position and then stop. So when you actually get out there and it's full speed and that big back actually is like churning his legs, he's spinning off. He trying to fight you back. He don't got that loose practice jersey. He got that tight game fit. All of that starts to come into play. For JPJ, it's reps. right? The more reps he gets, he'll understand you don't want to wait. With these backs, when you're in the open field, running backs, when you're open field with these wide receivers, shoot your gun. Go attack them because they got great feet. So if you're waiting on them, man, more times than not, they're going to step around you. You got to force the action and trust the cavalry's coming as well. And that's ultimately how we get it in, you know? But he's going to learn that. It's a hard lesson to learn at this level, though, baby. It's a hard lesson. But the beautiful part is, like you said, he has the intent. It's not what you're capable of, it's what you're willing to do. I've seen a lot of people that are capable of tackling, but just aren't willing to do it. He's willing. So we can get the skills, we'll get the technique, that'll come. But I need you to be in that fight with me.
Devin Bush, one of those guys.
See, I ain't do that, man. Don't do that.
I had to. I'm sorry.
Don't
I was
do
going to
that,
say
bro.
it in
Don't
the
do
middle
that.
of you
Don't do
saying
that, bro.
but,
Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. But you see the difference, though. One is a willing participant. Others might have looked like hostages.
Yeah.
You'd rather be a willing participant. He might be getting all over the place, but he's a willing participant, bro.
Looks ugly.
Mm-hmm.